Janet from PRONI. Do you know what it's like coming here? And once every so often I get to hear somebody with a proper accent.
Yes, great, no doubt.
It's unbelievable. Anyway, you work for PRONI.
Yes.
PRONI's obviously going through a big change at the moment now. You've got new
indeed.
premises.
Yep.
Just give us an update. What's the story with PRONI at the moment?
We're opening our new offices in Titanic Quarter, Belfast on the 30th of March this year.
Right.
We're in a fantastic new location just behind the Odyssey Arena. There's lots of stuff going on down there, including the Titanic signature buildings also going up.
Right.
Belfast Metropolitan College are moving down there as well.
Right.
So it's a really good place to be at the minute. We've really vastly improved our public services facilities in our new offices from what they were in Balmoral Avenue.
Right.
We've pretty much doubled our capacity in both the search room and the reading room. We've got lecture theatre space, cafeteria. We've got an exhibition that we'll be launching in the new building. It's dedicated space, so
it's going to make such a difference.
Stuff going on.
You know, I used to, because I live in Scotland. You know, for me it used to be a case of get the ferry over, and then trying to find a taxi, get all the way to Balmoral Avenue and all that. Now I can get off the ferry and walk straight in.
Well, you're pretty close.
We should have put a ferry dock at the end of the building.
Indeed,
actually. You know,
exactly.
that'd be brilliant. You know.
Well, you're pretty close. You're within walking distance of the city centre, and there's also a bus route that goes out there, so it's fairly accessible. It's also you're just beside the Belfast City Airport as well, the George Best Belfast City Airport. So you're really not far for anybody that's coming in from overseas.
So people who want to come in to use PRONI, when it gets up and running, what's the kind of score? When you arrive, do you need to bring sort of ID and stuff and register and all that?
As before, you bring your ID, and once you register as a visitor, that's you. But basically anybody can use any of the public facilities on the ground floor, which includes you can have a wander around, look at the exhibition, you can visit the cafe.
Right.
We've got new information points which gives you an overview of information, a bit about PRONI, what we have, what you can do, getting started, your family history. So you don't have to register to do that. If you want to use the search facilities and view any documents, you register as a reader, and then you'll be given a card, and that will give you swipe access into both the search room and the reading room.
Right.
And
you've got a lot of stuff in your catalogue now as well, haven't you? So you can actually work out what you want to look at before you come over and stuff. So
the electronic catalogue's now online and has been for a while now, which means I would strongly suggest people go onto our website. Basically the website's laid out. The left-hand side is your informational side, and your right-hand side is things that you can search, and that ranges from online archives such as the Covenant and Freeholder street directories to indexes such as name search. We've recently put on will images from 1850 into 1900 and added another 20 years under the searchable indexes.
So you're up to the 1940s or something now, aren't you?
We're up to 1943 I think now in the searchable will calendars, and we'll be adding to name search as well later on this year. We've now got a Flickr presence with some of our Alison photograph collection. So have a look, especially the electronic catalogue. People can go do a lot of their preliminary research at home, and then they can make the most of their visit at PRONI, which means especially if you're tight on time or you're visiting from overseas, you can really make the most of your visit because you can come in with lots of references and you can get stuck in immediately, and you don't have to spend half a day doing that preliminary research.
Aye. And is there more stuff going to go online on the PRONI site in due course?
We'll be adding some more pre-1858 will indexes onto name search by March of this year.
Oh right, okay.
We'll hopefully be adding additional catalogue entries onto the will search.
Right,
so,
very good.
And keep posted, just keep watching the website. Anything new will come up on the website.
Now, I've just been talking to Carol over at Roots Ireland.
Okay.
You know, and it's this old age-old myth. All the records were burned in 1922.
Yes.
Now,
I've heard this a lot.
Yeah, I allowed her to have a rant about it. Now, come on, you tell me. Tell me how wrong that actually is, or what. Is the glass half empty or half full?
Well, the glass is half full because you've got lots of church records. The majority, a lot of the church records, particularly for the Protestant, Presbyterian and Roman Catholic records, a lot of them didn't start till the early to mid 1800s, so it's not like they were destroyed. That's just when the record keeping started per se. You've also got a lot of what we call census substitutes, where you've got the heads of household listed. As I've been telling millions of people over the last few days.
Millions?
Well, maybe not quite millions, that's a slight exaggeration. It just feels like
I told you a million times don't exaggerate.
Yeah. Location, find out as much as you can about the location. You really need a parish, a townland or a parish at the very minimum.
Yeah, because that's a unique thing in Ireland, isn't it?
So townland or a parish, unless you've got you're lucky and you've got a really unusual surname, which helps your case a lot better. But certainly get your location, and then there's lots of things that you can do to start looking for that person. And as I said, there's lots you can do online and lots you can do to prep before you come to somewhere like PRONI or any of the other archives and start digging into your research.
Yeah. Can you order copies from PRONI for records? Is that something that might be coming on the cards at some point?
Or you can write into us and request. If, for example, there's a particular record you see and you want a copy, you can write it. You can email or write into us and request a copy. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I didn't know you did that. That's
we don't do online ordering per se, so you can't at the minute you can't pre-order documents to come in and view, but you can certainly you can order a copy. Just name it your own contact details and the reference number.
Okay. Most importantly, is the new office that you have in the new building nicer than your old office in the old building?
Absolutely.
It is, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's fantastic, particularly the public spaces. Bright and airy and light and spacious. We have a lot more computer terminals, so people will be able to search and do a lot more of the online stuff on site. So yeah, I think visitors won't be disappointed, particularly if they've seen it in comparison to our old offices.
And PRONI is open
30th of March.
And the days of the week, hours, and all
Monday
that?
to Friday.
Yeah.
We've late night opening and business hours Monday to Friday, late night opening on Thursdays.
Right. Okie dokie.
Have a look on the website. You'll get all the contact details. You'll get directions to our new offices, opening hours.
Okay. And the website is
www.proni.gov.uk.
There you go. Listen, Janet, thanks very much indeed.
You're very
I know it's the end of the last day and everybody's really tired, so thanks, and I'm sure we'll see you again next year.
All the best. Thanks, Chris.
Bye.